Hey YouTube, Tammy back with Purrincess Kitten Rescue. I had one of my subscribers request for me to do, I guess we'll do it in a couple of video series on some tips for new fosters. This actually came from Nicole Lynn, so thank you. She's also a new subscriber. Thank you so much for subscribing. You're helping me save more kittens. And I'm happy to do this video for you. Hopefully this will be informative for most people. We're going to start out with what I do. You can, for the most part, I don't think people realize this, but when you sign up for fostering, you can actually decide what kind of foster that you want to be. There are several different types. Let me fix my hair. I got a big thing sticking out. There we go. Can't have it. Okay, sorry about that. But there are several different types of fostering that you can do. You can take anything that they're willing to give you, whatever happens to come across your table, or you can be very specific in what it is that you want to do. Like what I do. I strictly do abandoned neonates. So what does that mean? It means that I will accept kittens into my care under 5 weeks old, where they still need to be on a bottle and they have no mother. I generally, as a rule, I never say never always, because there are extenuating circumstances. But as a rule, I don't take older kittens. I don't take mothers with babies. I don't take older cats. Why is that? Well, there's a couple of different reasons. One is I really do enjoy the neonatal part of it. Two, they're the highest euthanized and the hardest to get fostered. So that was kind of the niche that I decided that I wanted to take. Do I ever turn away older cats or moms with babies? It's extenuating circumstances. I do and have taken animals in under those premises. But as a rule, unless they meet that criteria, I'm not your girl. I have friends that foster up for me. There are different stages of fostering. I get them anywhere from an hour old.
There you go. Well, praise Jesus. You want Mama? You know you want it? Okay, let's be ready.
All the way up to 5 weeks. I mean, really. Is that good, buddy? You don't think you're a little big for this, maybe? Yeah. I keep them until they're eating solid food. And then once they're eating solid food, I do what's called fostering up. So it's the next stage. And the next stage is just taking care of them, feeding them, watching them play, watching them get fat, helping them with their social skills, things of that nature, until they're ready to be spayed, neutered, vaccinated, and then find their forever home. So there's different stages of how you could do this. So we're going to stick just in my tiny little world of neonatal. If you decide that you want to become a neonatal foster, the supplies really aren't all that big, to be quite honest with you. Supplies, you're going to need bottles. You're going to need syringes. And you're going to need nipples. You will need formula. and some way to clean their bottoms. You'll also need something to keep the neonatals in. You will probably need a couple of different stages. Now that can be anything from, you could actually just use a laundry basket starting out. If you don't have any other animals in your house and it's deep enough, you can put blankets in there. When they're really little, they really don't do anything but sleep and eat and go to the bathroom. They sleep pretty much 23 hours a day at that point until they start getting above 2 weeks old, and they'll wake up a little bit more. But you don't need much, to be honest. You could use a laundry basket. You could use a storage container. Just don't put the lid on it, unless you cut holes in the top of it so that they can breathe. You can get pet carriers. There's all different kinds of pet carriers that can be used. You can get them at Walmart. You can get them at Big Lots. I have a couple of containers that fold down. That are big and square, and they fold down into absolutely nothing. I think I paid $28 for them at Big Lots. JCPenney's online also has pet carriers. I think I got them when they were on sale for $7, $8. That's a pretty decent sized pet carrier, about yay. You can fit several neonatals in that. I also have a Popup pet playpen, I think is what they're called. You can get them on Amazon. I have the smallest one that you can get, because they get really, really large. The smallest one you get, I think, is a 26-inch round. And that's what I graduate the babies in. So they may end up, depending on, if I only have a couple of them, I have a discreet pet carrier, which is very small. They may spend a couple of days in that, and then I might move them up to my next pet carrier. And then when they start moving around, we kind of put them in the big carrier. And I'll get some shots, some still shots of those things, and we'll invert them into the video here somewhere. But you need a place to put them. The good thing about neonates is they don't take up much room, and you can keep them contained and you can take them anywhere. They're portable, so it is very convenient. You do need to be diligent if you want to be a neonatal. It can start out at an every 2-hour feeding, and when I say every 2 hours, I mean it is around the clock. You don't get to sleep all night. You do have to get up and you have to feed them. That time stretches out as the weeks go on. Usually from week 1 to 2, it's every 2 hours. From weeks 2 to 3, you can usually go to 3. From weeks 3 to 4, you kind of see where that's going. There's all kinds of information online that you can get on feeding schedules and how much they should be eating. Kittenlady.org is one of the best places to go. I'll see if I can find her chart. Again, I'll try to invert that into the video somewhere, so that you have that information. Time is the big thing for neonates. It's a 24/7 job, so you have to be able to have them with you 24/7. I am very blessed that I do have a real job in a dental office, and I am able to bring my neonatals with me. Again, it only takes me a few minutes to feed them, so it's in between breaks and in between patients. We feed them, we make them go potty, put them back to bed, and then we go back to work, and then we do it again in a couple more hours. So it's really not that big of a deal. Skill set, it's really easy to take care of neonates as long as you follow the rules, and there are a few rules that you have to follow. One, and this is the biggest one that's out there, is never, ever, ever feed a neonate on their back. They don't have a gag reflex until they're over 3 weeks old, and they can aspirate very easily. So you always want to feed your kitties belly down. Always, 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 always. You can use the bottles from Walmart. There's absolutely nothing wrong with those. If you're going to kind of stay in neonatal, I do recommend that you get Miracle Nipples and syringes. Hang on, let me go off camera. I'll grab one of these. Okay, just to kind of show you. These are just standard bottles. You can get these at Walmart pretty much all day long. These syringes, which are my favorite, I actually found these from another neonatal rescuer when I was taking a class. I noticed that she had these and was like, ooh, what is that? Because syringe feeding when they're really, really, really little, syringe feeding is a lot easier than trying to bottle feed for a couple of different reasons. It's a smaller container. They don't drink that much. You can also gauge pretty accurately how much they're eating if you don't have scales. I have scales, and you really, if you're going to do any kind of kitten rescuing that's under probably 6 weeks old, you need to have a good set of kitchen scales. I got mine at Bed Bath & Beyond. I think I paid $20 for it, but it weighs in pretty much everything. It weighs in ounces, grams, pounds and ounces, which is what you need. Starting out very little, we weigh them in grams. As they get bigger, we start weighing them in pounds and ounces. So we kind of know where they're at. Miracle nipples are another thing that you really, really, really need to invest in. These things are wonderful, and the reason they're wonderful is because they're made specifically for neonates. The hole's already pre-cut. The nipple size is absolutely perfect. You can actually take them out, and you just pop that on the end of that syringe. Bada bing, bada boom. Easy peasy. These are actually found in the medicine aisle, like for babies. That's where these are found. You can, this was, I think, I don't know, $2 or $3, and it was like buy one, get one free, so I bought 2 of them. I have used this all season, and it has yet to stuck on me. This has been through the dishwasher. It's been through all these things. Easy, easy, easy. Miracle nipples, they're going to run you a little bit. They're probably about $15 for 2 of them. They're well worth the money. If you can't afford it or you don't have it, a regular nipple will work. Don't think that it won't. It absolutely will. People have been doing it forever with those things. Formula is up to you on how it is that you want to do. Most rescues will try to help if they can, as far as formula is concerned, which usually means you're going to get like Pet AG, KMR, things of that nature. I am one of those rescuers that I do not use anything other than Breeder's Edge. And I say that because I have learned, unfortunately, from experience, my first 2 years in rescue, we had a lot of vet visits because we had a ton of tummy troubles and I couldn't figure out why. My kitten guru, Maddie Curtay, hey Miss Maddie, down in Chattanooga, she is my kitten goddess that I go to with all of my woes and problems when I can't figure out what it is. Generally, she can. She's the one that turned me on to Breeder's Edge. I've not looked back since. It is expensive. That is the downside. I'm not going to be, not going to sugarcoat that for you. It is expensive, but I choose to pay for that rather than paying for vet visits. Although I will say I have had some kittens that wouldn't take it and I had to give them the KMR. So, you kind of have to live and learn. The big things that you really you need to have a scale. You need to have plenty of blankets because you're going to do some laundry. It's just the way that it is. You need to have a place to put them where they're safe and secure, and you need to have the time. Another big thing, regardless of what age that you decide that you want to help in rescue, is you need a good support group. Rescue for a good company. Dixie Day and McCraken Kitty Cat Farm are the local rescues that I rescue for. And while they may not be able to help me as much with my supplies as I would like, because funds are very limited for them, they are strictly volunteer run. They don't get any money from the taxpayers in our community. They help all they can, but they're a huge support group. Whatever it is that I need, they will support me in any way humanly possible that they can find to do. That's why I rescue for them. They're a really good group of people. It's a very large organization with a lot of volunteers, and their staff is just amazing. I'm personal friends with most of them, so generally if there's any way humanly possible it is for them to help me, they're always there. So we need a good support group. I have a young lady named Destiny Meadows. Hey Destiny, I know that you just subscribed recently as well. She has been my kitten apprentice. She had gotten a hold of me earlier this year. She had two very young black parlor panthers, as we like to call them, little black kittens, that were sick, and she really wasn't sure what to do. She needed some answers, but she wanted to care for them for herself, not just me take them. So I said, sure, I'll be happy to help you, and I've kind of taught her along the way, you know, how to take care of sick kittens, because it does happen. They do get sick, and we have to be able to, you know, do our due diligence and take care of them. Unfortunately, it does happen. We do lose kittens, and that is something that you do need to be prepared for anytime you get into rescue. It is the ugly side of it, but it is a fact of life. We can't save every animal all the time. Everybody deals with it differently. I take it hard every single time. It doesn't get easier. That's just my experience. But what makes you keep doing it? Because there's other kittens out there that really need you. So you kind of have to learn how to move forward from those types of things, but it will happen eventually at some point in time. Again, have a good support group to help you get through those things as you need. But Destiny has become a great foster, so she's actually signed up now through Dixie to be a neonatal foster because we don't have near enough. She's an awesome student. She has taken great care of those kittens. Whenever she had a question, she would contact me, and I was happy to help and try to walk her through. And if I didn't know what the answer was, I contacted Maddie, and that's usually how we got the answer. But she's got two very healthy kittens that are growing and should be getting ready to get spayed and neutered anytime soon. So those are some tips to start out with on the neonatal end of it. Make sure you have the time and the ability. You need to have bottles, nipples, formula. You need to have scales. You need to have a lot of blankets. You need to have something to wipe their little butts. It could be tissues, it could be toilet paper, just anything that's kind of fairly soft. Dawn dishwashing liquid, you definitely need that anytime you're in rescue with any age of animal. You need Dawn dishwashing liquid. For neonates, it's especially important because it is the only flea control that we can use when they're under 2 pounds, and it's also what I use to clean them when they get gross and they need butt baths, things of that nature. So I think we can get a little more in depth into some of the stuff that we do for neonates. Maybe in a different video we could do neonatal part 2, but this is just maybe some tips to start out. If you're thinking about fostering and you want to do neonates, these are some things that you might want to decide to do. Find a really good rescue, people that you can trust, you know, people that are going to have your back, and start out that way. And I wish you good luck, and if you can think of any other questions that you would like answers to, please leave the comments down below. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, now's a great time for you to do it. I'll try to get my thoughts a little bit more in order for the next couple of videos that we'll do. I guess we'll call the series for maybe some how-tos for new fosters, things of that nature. But again, leave me the comments down below. Please subscribe to the channel because it helps me save more kittens. And if there's anything else I can do, leave the comments. I'll be happy to answer. You guys know the rules. Till I see you next time, stay safe, stay clean, have a perfect day. Bye.